In a dramatic escalation of trade tensions, President Trump has announced a sweeping 35% tariff on a wide array of Canadian goods that fall outside the scope of the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA. Set to go into effect on August 1st, the tariffs mark one of the most aggressive trade actions taken by the administration in recent months and signal a hardening of Trump's economic stance heading into the 2026 election cycle. According to senior White House officials, the tariffs are intended to penalize what the Trump administration describes as chronic unfair practices by Canada, particularly its protectionist stance on dairy, softwood lumber, and steel, and to pressure Ottawa to adopt stricter controls on fentanyl trafficking, which Trump has repeatedly linked to a surge in U.S. opioid deaths. Speaking at a rally in Toledo, Ohio, President Trump told supporters that Canada has taken advantage of America's generosity for decades, allowing its heavily subsidized dairy products and raw materials to undercut U.S. producers. "We love the Canadian people, but their leaders have been laughing at us behind closed doors," Trump declared. "They've had sweetheart deals, and those deals are over." The administration's new tariffs will hit sectors ranging from lumber, aluminum, and steel to agricultural products like dairy, wheat, and barley, many of which are crucial to Canadian exporters and integrated North American supply chains. Inside the Trump administration, trade advisors aligned with former U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer have been pushing for this crackdown for months, citing what they see as Canada's failure to address persistent U.S. grievances, especially its supply management system that restricts dairy imports and maintains high price floors for Canadian farmers. Trump's team also cites insufficient progress on halting precursor chemical shipments linked to fentanyl, a key political flashpoint for the Republican base. The announcement prompted an immediate, though measured, response from Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, who stated that while Canada would not engage in knee-jerk retaliation, it would pursue firm and strategic countermeasures if necessary. Carney emphasized the importance of maintaining regional economic stability, but warned that Canada's national interests and workers would not be sacrificed to appease American political rhetoric. While Ottawa has not yet announced specific retaliatory tariffs, Carney confirmed that Canada is preparing to bring the matter to the World Trade Organization, where similar disputes over softwood lumber have dragged on for decades without clear resolution. The Canadian business community has expressed deep concern over the tariffs. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce, Forest Products Association of Canada, and Dairy Farmers of Canada all issued strong statements criticizing the move, warning that it could cost thousands of Canadian jobs, trigger price hikes for U.S. consumers, and disrupt cross-border investment flows. In provinces like British Columbia, which relies heavily on lumber exports, and Quebec, a major dairy hub, industry leaders are bracing for immediate financial fallout. In the U.S., the response has been mixed. While some Midwestern dairy farmers and steel unions welcomed the announcement as long overdue protection from foreign competition, American manufacturers that rely on Canadian raw materials are warning of rising production costs and downstream layoffs. Automakers, especially those based in the Great Lakes region, are particularly vulnerable to trade disruptions due to the tightly woven nature of the U.S. Canada industrial supply chain. Analysts at Goldman Sachs and the Brookings Institution caution that the tariffs could have inflationary consequences, complicating the Federal Reserve's attempts to ease monetary policy ahead of what many expect to be a politically volatile 2026 election cycle. Diplomatically, the move risks straining ties between two of the world's most closely allied nations. While the Biden administration had sought to reinforce U.S.-Canada relations through joint climate and defense initiatives, Trump's return to a hardline economic nationalism threatens to unravel years of multilateral progress. Already, European and Asian allies are watching closely, concerned that the U.S. may revive the same unilateral trade policies that led to widespread global tension during Trump's first term. As the August 1st deadline approaches, the world is watching for Canada's next move. Will Ottawa take a hard retaliatory line, risking a trade war that could spill over to global markets? Or will it seek quiet diplomacy behind the scenes in hopes of diffusing what appears to be a politically motivated trade offensive? What's clear is that with this tariff announcement, President Trump has once again placed protectionist economic policy at the center of his campaign. And in doing so, he may be reshaping the future of North American trade.